The Giants have their first practice of the week as they get ready to head down to Philadelphia for a little Week 8 action. Steve Serby, Brandon London here. Let's play a little cover 3 with this one. You look like a former defensive back, so let's go cover 3. 3 storylines or things that you are keeping an eye out for going into the Eagles game on Sunday.
Well, why don't we start with a gentleman named Saquon Barkley?
Okay.
He's you're familiar with him, right?
Sounds familiar.
All right. Last year, we know 2,005 yards rushing, Super Bowl champion, much to the chagrin of Joe Shane and the Giants organization. This year hasn't been the same. Not because Saquon has fallen off a cliff, but the Eagles' offensive line has been banged up. The holes are not there to run through. They've had injuries to Lane Johnson, to Landon Dickerson, and now Cam Jurgens, their center, will probably miss Sunday's game against the Giants. So that's been a problem. There have been too many negative runs for Saquon, which he owns up to. He says he feels fine, but he takes responsibility, as he always does, for his 3.3-yard average. A year ago, 5.8. So, look, maybe seeing the Giants across the line of scrimmage will be just what the doctor ordered for Saquon, Super Saquon. We'll see. But for now, the Eagles have to have problems on the offensive line. They lost Mekhi Becton in free agency, another loss. So it's a mortal Saquon that they'll face on Sunday.
I'm not good with words the way you are, and I'm not good with math, but I know the 5.5 down to 3.3 isn't good at all, and they're going to try 5.8. See, I told you I wasn't good with math. The Eagles are going to try to establish a run, obviously, and like Brian Burns to Dexter Lawrence to Kayvon Thibodeau said, you got to earn the right to rush the passer, and that means to stop the run game, Philly run game that, like you said, is struggling. Cover 2.
Cover 2, why don't we go with the kicking situation, which has kicked the Giants in the butt for the last couple of years, right? The Giants want Graham Gano to be out there. He is practicing under the vigilant eyes of the trainers, and their intention is to have him kick Sunday at the link. They don't want Koo. If they wanted Koo, he would have kicked last week against the Broncos. But the international fellow, how do you pronounce his name?
Drew Bakatemi.
Good. I see you're good on that.
I go across this pond every once in a while.
McAtamy, of course, one of the reasons the Giants lost that epic collapse game in Denver. He apparently beat out Koo. So if he beat out Koo, that tells you what they think of Koo. Gano, they've opened the clock, and he'll be the guy Sunday, barring a flare-up of his groin injury.
And I think you have to feel 100% confident that the injury is, 1, taken care of, he is healthy, 2, that he is going to be healthy on game day as well. Why?
Well, I wouldn't be 100% confident. Gano is 38 years old. He suffered that injury in was the hamstring in pre-game warm-ups a year ago, or that cost the Giants a game. He's 38 years old. That's why it would be wise for Dable and Shane to have another kicker available on Sunday, because God forbid if something happens to Gano again at age 38 and puts the Giants in a compromising situation without a kicker, Dable will pay for that one.
But now we're talking about taking away a roster spot for a skill position or a semi-skill position. Paulson Adebo, Javon Holland, there's question marks around those guys. Darius Slayton, there's a question mark on that hamstring. Now you're talking about not activating or not bringing up an extra receiver or DB to have 2 kickers?
Yes, you heard me right. What can you imagine a scenario where Gano, who's 38, injures himself in the first quarter, and they don't have another kicker, and Brian Dable has to chase points the way he did in Denver? Look, they should have learned their lesson a year ago. You can't depend on a 38-year-old kicker with an injury history, with a recent injury history. So better safe than sorry on that one.
All right. Lastly, cover 3. Wrap us up.
Cover 3. How about Jaxson Dart?
A positive.
Well, a positive, but you know, the kid's the real deal. I think we've seen that. We saw it in Denver, except for that ill-fated interception, which turned the game around. That was a game. It was 26-16, correct?
Yep.
The interception, run back to the 19-yard line, easy score for the Broncos. The crowd gets into it. The game turns right then and there. He did bring them back, to his credit, took the lead, should have won the game. Defenses collapses again, rushing 3, dropping 8, should have blitzed the way Shane Bowen blitzed against the Eagles the last time, and Cordell Flott had that pick 6. So too passive again from Shane Bowen. That falls on both Bowen and Dable. But look, Dart's got all the moxie, all the charisma, all the toughness that you want in a franchise quarterback. He's only had 4 starts so far, but he is the answer as far as I'm concerned. And this will be the first time he's playing an opponent the second time, and he's playing Vic Fangio, who now has a bit of a book on him. So I expect Jackson to use his legs more than he did in Denver. He didn't use his legs the way he could have in Denver, especially on that 3rd and 5. Now, I don't know what your feeling was about that 3rd and 5. Should they have run the ball and forced the Broncos to use their 3rd and final timeout?
Absolutely not. The receiver in me says no. The offensive player in me says no. And it's one of those situations where we, as the players, the unit, we have to make the coach's decision right. Because if we do get the first down, whether it be a dump-off pass to Theo, let's say he completed that ball to Theo, that was a catch-and-run opportunity. He had Patrick Surtain, the best corner in the league, beat on that deep over route. He also had Wan'Dale Robinson, but they sent pressure. There was some leakage up front. Scatterboo tried to do what he could, and I guess I would have just told Jaxson Dart, or playing Wednesday afternoon quarterback right now, just eat it. Take the sack. No need to play hero ball right there, because if you took the sack, it's like a negative run play. You forced him to use that timeout, and then you punt the ball and force them to go a lot longer in a scoring opportunity than what they had from the 19.
Look, I don't have any problem with Brian Dable trusting Jaxson Dart. He believes in the kid. Now, it came back to bite him, but of course, if he ran the ball and didn't make the first down, and then they punt, and then the Broncos march down the field, he'll get blamed for playing not to lose.
Absolutely.
So I didn't have a problem with the call, with the decision to put the ball in your franchise quarterback's hands, even though he's a rookie, granted, but he was dissecting the Broncos' orange crush defense pretty good.
He was.
So I don't mind him playing to win there. I don't mind Jaxson Dart trying to win the game. If he completes the pass, game over. Game over.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with it the way I know Tiki Barber did. I like Tiki a lot. I trust Tiki, but I disagree with him. And maybe I'm in the minority, except for you.
And Millie Neighbors, who kind of called him out via Twitter.
He trusts Jaxson Dart, and he should trust Jaxson Dart.
Yep. That's Brian Dable's guy, so he's going to put the ball in his franchise quarterback's hands as he continues to go through the ups and downs and the growing pains of becoming an elite quarterback in this league. People are going to question certain things, but at this point in time, Brian Dable trusts him over, I guess, anyone else in the backfield or anyone else on that offense for right now. Cover 3 was fun, Serby. Like the way you got out that back pedal just now. It came off that hash. Loving it. Thanks for watching Cover 3 by Blue Rush.